Testing, testing, 1 2 1 2. There we go. All right, let's see what we got this morning. What else I need to do? Something I'm forgetting. Okay, I see. Center, done, and save. All right, this should be right. All right, save that. Okay, so let's see what we got popping here. Let's go over to our main. Looking like we got a couple movers up here. RVYL was up 193%. It received, let's see what kind of news it received here. Stock is ripping in after hours. So it's an after hours mover from yesterday. Now this is the first day of the month, so hey, we want to get a cushion started first on the month before we start it or start to try to really get aggressive. So looking here, let's see. Yesterday was the 30th. So round table. Okay, so they got a merger agreement on RVYL. It is a little bit higher float. Let me go look at exactly what that float is. RVYL. Rival Inc. Wait. RVL. Okay, there we go. And then statistics. There we go. All right, so it says the float is around 23 million. That's a higher float for what we're looking for from pre-market, so not going to touch that one. We do have another one that is moving, CJET, CJET, and then behind it, well, let me actually just pull up the watch list so I can show y'all what I'm looking at here. Instead of going through it that way. Let's go get that watch list. Which watch list is it? Is it this one? Nope, that's not it. Is it this one? That's the same one. Where is it? I think it's on main. Nope. Okay. Well, well, I guess I just save the watch list then. I can't see it. I can't it won't select it as a visible watch list. Okay, so what I'm seeing up here is CJET here up 71%. CJET. And remember, we had seen this one earlier. It's trading within these levels. We'll go and look at the daily chart here in a little bit. I think I had took notes on this one as well. GL XG is behind it at 31%, about to become a 20% struggler. It's got 11 million shares traded on it. And I believe GLXG is a Hong Kong stock, so I don't know how that's going to do. Then we got AIHS, and it's the last one above 20% right now. Only 1 million shares traded. So let's see what's going on with this top low float mover, CJET. So CJET, what is your news on today? It says ChiJet Motor Company. Let me go to the let's go to the bigger scene here. Make sure y'all can see this. Yep, y'all can see this. All right, so we had taken notes on this one before, and it says this is the People's Republic of China electric vehicles. Okay, so it's only 28 cents. So this is going to be one that is telling me just to wait for sure. It's up 79 cents, but People's Republic of China, Chinese stock, up 29%. It may go, you know, it may do something, but it's got 16 million shares traded, so it's leading in volume in the low floats. And we'll see how it continues to lead. And it's looking like the most bullish looking stock right now as well. Looking through these other ones, I'm just not really seeing it. Okay, so let's go back over here to CJet and see where it could possibly stop, and then maybe something else can pass the baton off to something else that is up of a little bit more value. So I was looking, what I had marked was these pegs here. Let's see, gap entry, the body of the candle, and the wick of the candle. So the wick of that candle, the top of that wick is 28.65, which it just broke through. Okay, and then we have another little spike out here at 35 cents. So this is what I would say is a peak level. It's kind of obvious out here, and so let's go ahead and mark that up. Peak daily level. All right. Right. So that's about it. Oh, we can move down just a little bit. Activate. Move down just a little bit there. Okay. So these are our levels, and it's right now going towards that. I don't know if we can get to that 35, but that's the level that it's looking towards. All right, so let's flip over here to this chart, and we can see these were the gap entries that I had marked the other day when we saw this popped up, and I just added this peak daily level. That's at the tip of that daily candle. 35 cents. So it could get up there. You know, it could do something. Let's go look at the float on this one, CJet. Now, in TOS, it says the shares outstanding are 18 million, so it could be a little bit higher float. Let me go check. CJet float. But this is a Chinese stock, so you got to be mindful and careful. So the float on this one is 24.42 million according to Yahoo Finance. Let me go over to FinViz and see what it is. Actually, let me show you guys so y'all know what I'm looking at. So it came over here to CJet. The float, 24.42 million. So it is a higher float too. So it's a Chinese company and a higher float. So that's two marks against it. All right, let's go to FinViz and go over here to CJet. Okay. Shares float 15.67. Shares outstanding 18. So this one's saying it's a little bit higher float as well. Okay. So that's just telling me, giving me more confirmation to sit on my hands. Let me look at this profile. I'm pretty sure this is a Hong Kong company. Yeah, People's Republic of China. Yeah, this is where my notes came from. ChiJet Motor Company Inc. engages in the design, development, production, sale, and after-sale service new energy vehicles and vehicle parts in China. The company offers passenger vehicles, including small cars, sedans, and sports utility vehicles, and commercial vehicles such as light trucks and vans. It also exports its products. The company was founded in 2009 and is based in Yantai, the People's Republic, China. Okay. So we're doing our due diligence, making sure we don't get killed this morning. You feel me? I did trade yesterday DPro for a little bit of profit. It wasn't exactly meeting what I was looking for, but it was super close. So, and I saw it was kind of like a drone type data analysis, data gathering company. And it was, I mean, in my head, it's more like military like, you know, and they were talking about deployments in the military. So I was looking at the market yesterday, and I was looking for the market to give me a little bit of bounce. It gave me that bounce. I entered on that bounce and got a pretty nice move on DPro. So let me go over there real quick since we really don't have any other things that I want to really watch. Let's go ahead and bag this up. So the trade from yesterday, it was a small trade too. It wasn't like a crazy, oh boy, trade. But I had marked up where the where is it? Am I passing it? Yeah. Okay, so I had marked up a nice little trend after that open. Got out of my meeting around like 9, somewhere up in here, and I was like, oh man, this thing might fade. And then I saw it hit a low here, and I wanted confirmation that it was going to start building up. So it came here, got a little buying, moved on up to the bottom side of the ATRs, broke this. Now I was talking to Donnell in the Discord, and I was like, yo, if this thing gets over 840, this thing starts getting over 840 or holding around 840, I'm gonna get really interested. And what we saw was it came up here, it came down, tapped this top ATR, came back and started holding around and just playing around this 840, and then it exploded. Boom. Came up here, and this was my entry. So I got in around, and this was the you know how I like to draw the point of control in there, where the heavy level of points of control, it actually held over this heavy level of points of control and moved up. And so I entered in here around 876 here, and got the move from 876 up here to 905, and I believe I sold it all. Let me look at exactly where I sold. So I got in at 887. Okay, so right in here, 887. Somewhere my average price, right around this little pump out here, 887. And I got out around 910. So this is 904. So right up here, most part in these wicks here. So I did not catch this secondary move up to 19 or 924. I just caught this first one up to 905 and ended up stopping out there, or taking the majority of the profit. And then I was just holding a little bit, and I just, you know, ended up taking probably the rest of it on this dropout, but for the most part around 910 on this first move. But it is what it is. It you know, this is when the market had started popping. Like if you pull up the NQ at this same exact time, it was pumping up. So I jumped in right there looking for this thing to follow in the NQ on the idea that this was more closely aligned to military. And I know that the government shutdown was like pending. And I was like, okay, let's see if this thing can just, you know, give me a little bit of move up here. And so I did get 23 cents off that move. So almost my 30 cents, but not quite. But it is what it is. I just took it and got on out of there. So ended the month on a nice green day. Well, small green day, but still nice green day. Definitely a lunch money trade. All right, let's get back over to what we're CJET. Again, Chinese stock pushing on up here. They have a 1 million private placement, strong investor demand, and all of this. So let me read the news that's on TOS. It says Chai Motor Company secures commitment to expand private placement to 1 billion following strong investor demand. Okay. It says, okay, it just repeats that over and over again. Okay. So private placement offering up to 1 billion. And that's why, you know, in the recent weeks, we've seen private placements do things, but I'm still wanting it to meet the criteria that I'm looking for, be over $5, have a nice range where I can get 30 cents off of it. Now this one, from the beginning of its move at 17 cents all the way up to 40 cents, the whole move is about 30 something cents, right? And so we haven't even seen a pullback yet. We know that the gap level was down here. Let's go ahead and mark up some more levels here on the daily chart and see where this thing could go. The top of this gap, so we got a little tip here at 52 cents. So we will go ahead and I marked this as gap entry. I should have just marked it as gap level. Actually daily gap level, but let me duplicate this, drag this on up here. So we got one here, and I put a gap level here as well. Activate. One of the things that I did yesterday, you know, I was thinking about the gaps, and a lot of times wicks can be different on different charts. So I was kind of aiming for the body of the candle rather than the wick. Let's go and do that. First, I need to edit this daily gap level. We want to see what that body of that candle is, because the wick is just kind of like a war zone. Let's go ahead and duplicate. You know, if it shows respect at 51, then great. But if it shows greater respect at 57 than 51, we know that they really respect that body, that previous drop here. Your dial up is working much better today. Hey, That's always a plus when you can turn on your computer and it can talk the language that it should talk. So we were looking at CJET. It's got a lot of red flags because it is Chinese. It is from the People's Republic of China. It has a private placement for $1 billion, and it's going, it's at 36 cents right now. And so we just marked the new levels up here. So this is where the top of this gap is up here at 51, 57%. But also keep in mind, this is the first of the month. So we want to enter it with a little bit of caution and build a cushion before, taking any kind of craziness. All right, so right now, point of control on this thing is around 34 cents, 35 cents, and we have not seen any actual structure. It has just been going up on this little trend here, but I want to see this one fall so something else can possibly come back and take over. And let me just survey the watch list here for any other tickers that have pretty good catalysts that may be a little bit higher priced. So BENF down 18%. DLXY nasty. ATCH definitely some a lighter volume of first of the month for sure. ePro Mask went on down. TWG $7.98, but no type of volume there. I don't like that. Let's see what else. AIHS, GLX. So yeah, this is the only one that's gonna be doing something. It's gonna have to fall before we can see something that can get some range that can pay us. And more, man, as I continue to trade, I'm like, what can give me range? What can really give me the range that I'm looking for? And why are these big traders trading them? What idea are they forming that's making them trade this rather than that? You know what I'm saying? Right. So this one almost has 57 million. So it's about to pass RV, whatever this one was that was moving up. At the beginning, it was up 120 something percent as well, but it's got 57 million, and now CJ has called all the way back up and on these 200 million, or not 200 million, 2 million shares to be the lead in volume on the day, and has, it could possibly go up there to 50 cents. It has a private placement news, so it could get kind of sporadic, but I'm looking for structure and I'm looking for failure for something else to come up that is better. On the 15 minute, it has 5 minute, it has a point of control of 29 cents. On the 15 minute, it has a point of control of 34 cents. So from 29, where's 29? Let's go ahead and draw that up and watch it fail. Watch it try to fail here. So from 29, like right here, 28, 29, somewhere up in here, all the way up to 34. It's going to be 32, 33, 34. We'll see how it trades around this range. A lot of trades came in this level, and I want to see it fail this level. I am absolutely praying on its downfall. And we'll see what kind of point of control adjustments are made, but I always like to mark them because later on in the day you won't know this if you wasn't here to see it. All right, so it has 60 going towards 60 million shares traded on it. Super heavily traded. Super heavily traded. All right, we're seeing TWG. Let me see what it's doing. Oh, it needs more volume. This thing's just spacing out. Okay, it was at $7, but it had bounce stuff here, but it's no volume there. I can't do anything with that. Coming on down and testing that 34. We'll see. Oh wow. Pop right on into it. Okay, so that was a little tickle. A little tickle. Is it gonna give retail traders the old Chinese special today, where it goes up and then it drops, one, unpredictably, and two, to a level of no return? I'm glad for stocks like this though. These kind of stocks immediately tell me to wait. They're like, wait, we're leading the day. This is highly dangerous. Do you see all the blood in the water? And I can make the choice and be like, man, I'm gonna ignore this blood in the water. I'm just gonna jump into this and get fried. I'm like, nah, let me really think about this. You're 34 cents, right? Sure, we can trade it, but if you're gonna trade this, in your head, could you think, okay, well, if I were to take my regular size and not oversize on this, would I make money? Like if your regular size is 500 shares, well, how much, if it does move 1 cent on 500 shares, like, is it worth the risk? Is the question. Can your regular size make you money at this price level? Or you can do the one share analysis. If you were to take one share, how much money could you make on this? Not much. It's moving a couple cents. So even if you bought down here at 17, 16 cents at the perfect entry with one share, right? You'll be up what, 34 cents. 34 cents. So I'm thinking risk to reward ain't there. Is not there. 65 million. It's so heavily traded though. It's like it could do something unexpected because of how many people are trading this. But I'm not I don't want to be in that boat with them riding, getting my skin peeled off in a Chinese stock. Okay. So just waiting. We're heading towards 6:30, so 30 minutes after when retail, especially at free brokers can start trading. I was looking into the whole PDT thing and the new PDT rules that have been approved by FINRA, and looking into how Charles Schwab is trying to push for that PDT change, taking the PDT from 25,000 down to 2,000. I'm like, that's cool, Um, I definitely think it's going to be more impactful. People probably going to see more people trading on margin for sure. And I don't know how they're going to. I don't think it's going to affect cash accounts. It's just going to be like margin based. $2,000 and being able to trade, you know, right after you get your money right back basically over 2,000. But I don't think Charles Schwab has exposed how it's going to do that. I think they may end up leaving it up to the individual banks how they're going to handle um, where their threshold is and how their margin will be allocated. I don't think it's going to be like, oh, everybody does this. But anyway, let's go, and while we're waiting on this thing to see what it's going to do, it kind of tickled our little box down here. But right now, just holding around this 35. almost, man, this thing might have 200 million shares traded by the time the open comes. This thing is, it is absolutely crazy how much volume is coming in here for the amount of range that it has. And the problem is when you do oversize in here, it is so easy to fat finger. You go in with a big share size, you get scared, and let's say they take, 30,000 shares or something to try to make some money on here. And then it drops and they sell and it just makes it implode to the downside or to the upside. As you can see, it's kind of getting a little popish to the upside. But definitely, is it hard to borrow? I do not see hard to borrow out here on this one. So if it's not hard to borrow for the shorts, that's an issue. Like, can shorts, let me go and look over here and see if it's hard to borrow here. I'm not seeing hard to borrow on TOS, but let me see. Is Chai Jet easy to borrow? Is Chai Jet CJET, ticker CJET, easy to borrow? Because that could be a problem. Okay, let's see. Borrow cost. Says the borrow fee is high, but that doesn't mean anything. I want to know, is it easy or it behaves like a hard to borrow stock? No, it's not easy to borrow. Okay, so it's not easy to borrow. People that have definitely been gathering shares on this one. So not easy to borrow, which is a good sign. That means whoever is on this one was thinking about this one way ahead of time getting those shares. All right, D Pro, this one went on down. Mask, AIHS. Okay. So just being patient, nothing meeting the criteria just yet. We're starting to see a little bit of a structure form here. Top side is 40 cents, going down to 37. So let's just see, continue to ride this down. Is this a true structure? Let's go ahead and draw it, and we'll see if it ends up holding it on down. And the range is getting smaller. And this is the scary thing about this. When the range is already small, how much smaller can it get? You know? Okay. Seeing masks do some little pops and drops. So today looks like a penny stock day, really. Mask doing this little a solid come up here. It hit 25%, 27%, and it's been doing this little kind of wick dance. But I don't see any catalyst for it, I don't think. Let's see. Government shutdown. Okay, so let's go over here and look at this old government shutdown thing while everybody's playing around with their souls. All right, so over here on Yahoo, we see the U.S. Is now in shutdown. What you need to know: billions of dollars in lost output are at risk after lawmakers failed to reach a spending deal. The shutdown, private economic data to take on a bigger role. How a government shutdown will affect your money. BlackRock nears $38 billion deal for big U.S. utility AES. U.S. takes a stake in Lithium Americas. Stock spikes. Gold surges to record as shutdown boosts havens. Tesla hikes U.S. lease prices after tax credit expires. Dollar heads for the longest run of losses in a month. Car makers Stellantis and Mistral AI expand partnership in AI adoption. Hyundai Palisade versus Kia Telluride, a 3-row SUV comparison for Edmunds. Rick Perry's data center REIT set for NASDAQ debut after 683 million IPO. Okay. Widely used stablecoins need to be regulated like money. Oil extends slide with worries over OPEC output and U.S. shutdown. Samsung SK Hynix to supply memory chips to OpenAI Stargate project. Bristol Myers Takeda to pool data for AI-based drug discovery. All right, so we got this. This is live. I don't know if I want to. Yeah, they're talking right now. So, U.S. government shuts down with Congress still at odds. How long could the government shutdown last? Nike still navigating tariff impacts in Q1 earnings beat. Crypto's next wave will come from stablecoin adoption, maybe. But the problem is stablecoins pretty much are super stable. You can't expect a stablecoin to be volatile. So even picking those up, I mean, you got to be careful because you're not going to get much motion out of those. Okay, so let's jump back over here to the Reaper out here, CJET. Bounced on this little, what we thought was some type of structure. I'm not sure yet. It kind of tapped it, but I'm still kind of don't know. And looking for something else to come on up. Mask ended up coming on back down a little bit. Thought it was going to get pumping. Do we have a small cap that does not care about what's going on today? That is just ready to move is the question. The other thing I'm looking at is the NQ. It really hasn't reacted like the government has shut down. Like, look at this. So the NQ, it was building up yesterday. So this was Sunday. Okay, had a nice little move up here. Came into a flat range where it was kind of torpedoing back and forth. And then had a little dive here. Let's see, is this Wednesday? So this is Wednesday night. A big dip as the government shut down and then comes back up here. So I'm wondering when the correction will happen for this idea of a shutdown, right? Because we're gonna have to see, is this shutdown real? Are people super optimistic and it rises up, or is this just a little reprieve before it continues on a walk down here? Okay. CJET showing us a lot of these little spikes on the 1 minute. Let's jump over to the 5 minute. On the 5 minute, this is what we're looking at. And then on the 15 minute. So indecision in here at 35.81. And we're seeing it kind of just struggle above this previous level. We're really in a struggle bus. Yeah, all these charts look crazy. That's why I'm like, let me just wait. They're telling me to just wait and hold. Don't do anything rash. Okay. So again, another little test up here, but we want to see if this thing's gonna actually follow this. We're just gonna start trading out of this. But with this range that it's got, it's getting very scary. Whenever our leader is a penny stock, we know that we may need to wait for the next session. Because if in this session people believe in trash, that's already telling you something about this. It's like, wait a minute, why is there so much belief in this garbage can? Wait a minute. I can understand if it's got catalysts, like actual catalysts. They're changing something, they're doing something that's changing lives. You know, they get some new funding, some actual funding from the government, you know, but what they're doing, not too sure about that. A small little pop up, but still doesn't mean it's done following our trend down. I would like to see an outlier. I would like to see it pop up and get slammed, and that would give us an even stronger conviction that this is going to continue into a downtrend. But it's sitting right above the previous points of control right here. So I was looking for it to fall. It fell in here just momentarily and popped back up, but I think it can do an even bigger fall down in here as it slows down and people start to lose their love for it. Coming back down, testing that level. Can it re-enter? Go ahead and get on down there. Okay, so a little tap on that level. A love tap. Let's also go over and look at crypto too. I forgot to pull up my trading view. Let's go see what crypto's out here doing. Let me see, is it going to select the right one? Yep, there it is. All right. So Ethereum popped up today, even on the government shutdown. So government shutdown, Bitcoin has resurged. It went down there to 109,000. 109,000 down there and has recovered, has come back up. So at the highs, it was at what, 120 or something. What's this time frame? Let me switch to a month. I like looking at the month when I look at this because I don't want to be confused. All right, so there we go. Now let's back off a little bit. Okay, there we go. All right, so went down to the 109s, had a nice little sell-off, and now it's coming back up. So we had previous highs up here to the 124s, and I kind of figured it was back up because when I checked my portfolio today, it had dipped quite down when it went down to this 109, but just quick recovery. And that's why we, hold long term, because these little dips like this really don't matter in the long run. I mean, I'm holding some pretty good positions, and the whole portfolio is now back up during the government shutdown. So, feeling pretty nice about that. Pretty much everything right here is showing green. And we'll see how this continues during this government shutdown. People, I don't know, looking at the NQ, it does not look like it's reacted yet. I think it's going to take the intraday and for people to actually see, hey, wow, this is actually happening, and really digest the news that's out. All right, back over here to CJET, hugging this downtrend. Had a little high up here of 36. Is this another level that could be holding it? Don't know yet. Now we got two levels, but we don't know what it's going to actually start respecting. Could fall down here into our base level. The bottom of this little tickle was down here to 33. So still holding above this level, but looking for failure. Something just happened on Twitch. Let me go look at Twitch. Why is Twitch tripping? Let me see what this is talking about. What just happened on Twitch? Now I can say Twitch has the lowest latency, so it could be because YouTube and I think even your browser encountered an error. Yeah, so that's your browser. Yeah, what browser are you using to view this? Are you using Chrome or Edge or what browser? I use Brave browser. Of course, there are some other browsers that you can use, Opera and some other secure ones, Firefox. Um, but yeah, let me know what browser you got there. Edge. Edge. Oh my goodness, you use Edge. Okay, so you may want to try Google Chrome. If you're not okay, so you can try Google Chrome if you're not too worried about security. You can try Brave browser, Firefox, or something like that if you want a more secure browser. Um, because Google Chrome does a lot of in small print. Can we sell your data type moves in the small print? So you just gotta kind of be careful about that if you're gonna view or be using or doing banking or whatnot. It's just I don't Google Chrome. I just don't use it. So just specifically for that reason. Oh, this thing tickled our box a little bit more. So it did it one time up here at the 33, and then it came down here to right at that 28, the bottom of the point of control level, and it tickled the whole box this time. So now turning to look back up, but we can see how we looked at this structure and we're looking for that failure point. Okay. That's good. So everything right now on my scan is below $5. So I have no reason to really take any action. I'm just gonna watch this one die and take all the souls with it. So basically, if you oversize into this one, this was from the 4 cents, just 4 cents here. But with the price, let's see how much it is to take. Let's say with $1,000 account, how much could you take on this? So with $1,000 account at 34, where it was sitting for a while, 34, so 1,000 divided by 34 cents. You could take 2,941 shares with $1,000 account. Okay. So with this 4 cent drop, 4 cent drop here, let's say 1,000, what is it, like $40? So 1,000 times 0.04. Yeah, $40. Okay. So a $40 drop, but imagine if somebody oversized even more. Let's say they had a $10,000 account. And we said, okay, well, let's just divide that by 35 cents. Now you can get 28,571 shares. Okay. And if we take that and say, okay, well, what's a 4 cent loss on 10,000 shares? Times 404. That's for a $400 loss with just this little drop. And your question is, okay, well, is it possible for it to get back up here and let me out? Or is it going to continue to drop? If it drops down here to 25, you're definitely going to be holding. Now, let's say if somebody was crazy and they were just taking 50,000 share positions here. And they may be taking even more than that. So 50,000, let's just go and do a divided by 0.35. And let me see. So 50,000 shares you can take, or $50,000 you can get 142,857 shares. Now on a loss from a 4 cent loss, let's see how much that is. So 142 times 0.04. That will be a $5,714 loss right here if they were to just take this 4 cent loss. So the risk to reward just isn't there. It's just not there. I'm cool. I am cool on that noise. Too much risk of oversizing. And it's like, for the most part, most traders, like think about it. Most of them say the majority of their problem is oversizing and over trading, right? So if that's the majority of the problem, why would you go to a space that will visually make you be like, man, I could take more shares. I can take more shares. I can do more. Let me just get more, right? And you, you end up set up for failure. But again, we got a little tickle at the bottom of this box. It's coming up here still with some flat motion. We'll see if it continues down. Have not seen anything new pop up just yet. If y'all see anything that I'm not seeing yet, please drop it into the chat and we will go check it out. But for right now, this one is leading the day with 96. I told y'all it's probably gonna be 200 million by the time we get to open it, because it is 4 million away from getting 100 million shares traded. Why? Because it's desperation. Government shutdown. You know, a nice Chinese stock has popped up and gave a little bit of life. You know, it's just I've got a bad taste in my mouth for Chinese stocks and Israeli stocks. Those two are some soul snatchers. And I've made money on Israeli stocks, but it's been by the grace of God. Because when they start throwing those wicks, it gets real. Yeah, but if you try another browser, that may fix your issue. Edge is one of those that a lot of people don't like. It does have a lot of known issues, so yeah. So down, and this is what I'm saying. This is where the rest of that loss comes from. Look at that. Is it going to actually dive out of our little box? It tickled the box here. It fully touched the box here, and now it's tickling the bottom side of the box. This was that gap, the top or the bottom of the gap. The top of the gap is up here at 51 cents. It did not cross over there. So tickled the whole box and came back up and found resistance at the half of the box and is dancing right above this level. So can it continue down? That's a whole, it's now, let's see if it'll close this box outside of this, or close underneath this little box here. Definitely some weakness. So if somebody oversized in this is a whole 10, almost a 10-cent loss here. Yep, exactly. Nothing to see here. Exactly. And that's, yeah, that's definitely changed things for me. It's like risk to reward isn't just, you know, how much you can lose. It's, you know, what's the distance that can be traveled in a lot, in a limited amount of time. Because if we're day trading, we're not looking to be, you know, doing this. Because let me see, my last trades have lasted 20 minutes, 15 minutes, and then my losses are usually longer. So my loss was an hour and something holding something, right? So 20 minutes, 20 to 15 minutes is looking like the average for me, and then my losses are a little bit longer hold time because I kind of give it a little bit of room to play, but I probably shouldn't do that because if my losses or if my winners are, you know, under 30 minutes, why am I holding past that, right? And a lot of times I'll, you know, hold and I'm like, man, it'll go up. But I'm trading something that's a little bit higher priced and can give more range. So if it does bounce up, usually works out pretty well. But, you know, having to hold through all that pain is just kind of unnecessary. So it did look like it tickled the bottom of this box, and we'll see if it continues to close above this 28 level. But at this point, we got to see another structure formed here because right now all the structures are saying down. Let me go look at the 15-minute on this one and see where it's sitting. So this is what the 15-minute is looking like. Horrible. Came up here into this flatness. 15-minute has fallen. Let's go back over to the 5. Where are we? 5-minute. Yeah, not looking great. Yep. So we'll see if it goes flat again here. Will this little 30 cents become a little bit of resistance for some continuation downward? Little bouncy bounce, little do-si-do there, up to the 30s. That's some temptation right there for somebody that will be trading this. It's bouncing like it's gonna go up, and then it can easily slam down. All right, let me see if any updated news has come out for this shutdown. No, it looks like everything's still sitting kind of where it was. Okay. Well, it is what it is. My crypto is looking great today. So this thing has crossed over 100 million shares traded. Crazy volume. Okay. This one keeps on. There's so many low volume small caps right now. I mean, low volume, like 100,000 something. And then they don't even have any kind of catalyst. So I'm looking through trying to find catalysts on the day. It seems like companies on holdback mode right now. They're like, I don't know if we want to release it. Let's just wait. Let's just wait. So it did tap that little trend we had up there at 31. Let's see if it starts to show some red back downward. Some more little pump fakes. Okay. Let's see if it actually respects this first level. This will be another, not even a true outlier. Throwing a big wick up there. 32 very quickly. I'm sure people are popping off trying to get out. Because those folks that oversized up here, they're in pain right now. They're selling every pop. Mm-hmm. More little pump fakes. About to close this count in about 15 minutes. Or not 15 minutes, 15 seconds. It tried and it touched it. It just threw a wick up there. That was a super fast wick. As soon as the candle opened, flipped up there to that top trend. Let's see if we see red here. Show me something. Let's see you fall through the floor, big boy. Hmm. Mm-hmm. So down here, this bottom trend is still around the 30. Went up 2 cents. All right, so closing, and now it's just got to choose a side to break down or not to break down. Same, man. So holding within our trend, looking like it's kind of going back this way, but you know, still just about 30 cent up to the 33, about a 3 cent range in here. It's got to choose a side. Okay. So from this, if it starts to break out of this level up here, I want to go ahead and put an uptrend in here and look for it to break down that uptrend. It's actually trading like a much, much higher float right now. Okay, so I guess there is no uptrend. The previous bottom was down here at 28. Need to break a high to start an uptrend here of 32. All right, can it break a high here? Sorry for this trading session being so boring, but yeah, if there's nothing to trade, there's just nothing to trade. Digging for things just doesn't make sense. You want to keep your eyes on where's the volume, where are the people? Because you go looking for something, you may get, it's like, I want to do too much digging. I want my scanners to just show me the message because they've been showing me the message all of October. So, I mean, all of September. So, I'm like, just gonna watch this. If this is where people's eyes are, it's as unappetizing as it is. I'll be watching it as well to fail. See if it breaks a high, we can start an uptrend that we can look for it to fail. It needs to get over this 31 though. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and put in a nice little uptrend here and we'll see how this holds. Will it actually get back above these levels? We don't know. Still kind of in the middle of this previously traded box. 35 down to 29. So we're looking for a breakdown of possibly the 30. Boy, this thing's tight. So break of this high will be over the 32, but it is some tight range up in here. Like a choke, actually. But this is actually, I think this one is called a pendant, where it comes to like a needle point and it has to choose a way to go, you know? So it's going to be a lot of indecision around this little 30, right above this 30 level. Okay. A little tap there. So slightly holding this little uptrend, but you know, is it going to let people out? Maybe. Super tight though. And now, if it can break up here, we'll have an even stronger level or structure if it can break up here, test 34 and begin to fail. But that's what we're looking for, structure, man. Structure, structure, structure. Almost a 200 million shares traded. Like I said, back when we were at 50K, the way the volume was pouring in, it was unnatural. Tapping right at the top of the box now. Guess I could spread this box out a little bit because it looks like it's going off screen. Let me activate this. We had 28, 29 down here and 34 at the top. So let me take this 29, spread it on down. Okay. So just hit the top of that box, has this nice little level. It's gonna have to come back and test. Okay, that might have been too much. That might have been too much right there. Let me take this back just a little bit. I'm gonna actually be able to see it right there. All right. So at least we can see the trend that is coming to here. Hit the top of the box, let a couple people out, but we're still within the struggle area. Let's see what's happening today. Today is the first, so let's see. We do not have any speakers today. We have a speaker on Friday, Vice Chair Jefferson, speaking in Philadelphia at Drexel Economic Forum on Friday. And if we can break this level, this will be a new structure we can actually follow. And we're seeing this trend right now. Break down this trend would be 31 cents. So there's our outlier there. Let me go ahead and get ready to get this drawn here. Coming up to the point of control at 35 cents. Okay. Show me where you're going to end at. It's definitely letting everybody out that may have oversized into this. Looking for where it stops though. We got a call out of lack. Let's go look at LAC. So we got our outlier. We'll see if that ends up failing. Let's go look at lack. LAC here and lack. Let's see. So it's up 35%. It has a float, higher float for sure. Let's go look at this float and see where we're sitting on lack. Well, it's higher outstanding shares. I don't know what the float is. Let me go see. Is this the lithium one? I believe it is. Lithium Americas Corp up 35%. Statistics. Float is 191.72 million. Okay. So let's go to the 15 minute. So we can see yesterday it had quite a bit of a pop-up. Of course, lithium was on the front page of Yahoo Finance. So made a move from 570 up here to this 7, but it looks like a really tight range as well. So the bottom around maybe 728. Top has some outliers up here around 8, but for the most part, right under 8, between 8 and 725-ish. Okay. 17 million shares traded, but nice tight range. Is LAC one of those dividend paying lithium stocks? It may or may not be, I'm not sure. Let me go see LAC. Payouts. No, it's not paying dividends. Okay. All right, so whoever's trading is probably actually trading it because, or they've been holding it for a while. Okay. CJET, what you got going on over here? What was the news on LAC too? I didn't even read that. Let me see. On LAC, Lithium Americas finalized. So Lithium Americas, GM, and DOE finalized a 435 million first draw from 2.23 billion loan as DOE gains 5% equity, so they're getting a loan. And JV stake in Thacker Pass project. Okay, so let me see. So this is a loan. Store futures were falling. Stock futures were falling. Nvidia, blah, blah, blah. No, just show me the news I was just on. What are you doing? Okay, material, electric, staking. Okay. So yeah, it's the government shutdown that's really got people diving into precious metals and things like that. So that's what that is, just following the shutdown news. If the market starts to actually dump, I don't know. I really don't know. Seems like a lot of investors were already in this. It went down yesterday to 522, and it seems like they pretty much got their positions down here. Looking at this volume profile from yesterday, a lot of people jumped into this, and now it's more trading in this level. So I'm thinking they're going to hold it around here. I don't think it's going to be going down anytime soon. I'm seeing VSIG pop up. VSIG, this is one here. So we got one that is above $5. What is the news on this? It says BCI Global Powers Food Security Technology Company agros to NASDAQ. Successful IPO pricing and trading begins today. Let's look where VSIG is based out of. So VSIG finally getting some ice broken around here at almost 7:15. So an hour and something away from the open. So let's go look this up. VSIG. What you got here? VSIG Global. Let's go to the profile. Okay, so VC Global Limited, together with its subsidiaries, provides business and technology consulting services in Malaysia. It operates through business strategy consultancy, technology development solutions, and consultancy and interest income segments. The company offers business strategy consultancy services, including listing solutions, investors relations, and boardroom strategy consultancy. It also provides technology development solutions and consultancy services such as digital development, fintech solution, and software solutions. Okay, so this is another Asian company out of Malaysia. So seeing some Asian companies lead the month. I'm gonna go ahead and add a note over here. Asian company here out of Malaysia. Where's my notes? I just tap. Okay, there it is. This is a Malaysian company. And it's some kind of IPO pricing news that I'm going to read into in just a minute. Okay, some Malaysian company. Let's see what this news is talking about. And are they talking any money? All right, so it says this transaction. Okay, so let me just read the whole thing. Okay, this transaction marks VCI Global's second NASDAQ IPO in 6 months. Second IPO, okay, reinforcing its position as a cross-border capital markets leader. To date, VCCG has assisted IPO clients in raising more than 23 million and has generated over 20 million in advisory fees through combination of cash and equity structures. That just doesn't, I don't care. Okay. So that's quite a bit of a move down. Looks like. Let me go back over this 1 minute. So this stock getting up here with 1 million shares went up to about 35% and now it's down to 9%. So this is an out of scope stock for me. Man, had me hopeful for a minute. I saw it come up. I was like, yeah, man, ha ha ha. Yeah, it's back to 10% in like seconds. All right, this other one, CJET, still came up here and formed an outlier. At this point, this one is out of scope. So we got these two. It's gonna have to decide, and it had this little what we thought was an uptrend, but it broke it down. So a little bit of weakness there, and still trading within that point of control zone. That's crazy, man. That thing dove so quick. All right, well, Asian stocks definitely taking souls today. I'm sure that someone came in, looked at their scan, and was like, "Oh my goodness, this is popping. It's a Chinese stock. Let me get in on this." And yeah, not a Chinese stock, a Malaysian stock. It's an Asian stock. And so very quick pop up to 950 and a $2 per share loss if you just jumped into this move. That's why I like to do my due diligence, because if it's good, it'll hold through due diligence. It'll hold and it will wait on me to do my all my reading and all of that. That's what a good stock does. One that performs like I want it to, it'll hold through all of that. There is no rush. All right, so CJET continues to push on down. And yeah, definitely broke that down. And I don't know if it can reclaim this uptrend. If it fails this uptrend or makes another outlier within this structure, then I'll just start using this one, this structure for the continued downtrend. But it definitely let some people out up there, and they were not afraid to sell. VSIG all the way down to 7% now. So yeah, definitely want to avoid those types just jumping in. Oh boy, it's a low float. Let's go. Cooked. Ah, VSIG. Okay. Well, maybe there'll be something during the intraday. I'm not sure. It seems like a lot of people are sitting on their hands and really just trying to see what this intraday volume is going to be doing. Because the is the market dumping? Let me see. Okay, it made a little move down, but it's still pretty much holding up. But it is showing some weakness on the NQ. Got to see where that goes. Let me show y'all what I'm looking at here. So we had a nice little move down here. We have what looks like some type of uptrend. Where's my trend? Looks like some kind of uptrend here, but I'm not sure if it's going to actually continue. It's under the previous ATR, and so that already means that there's some kind of this downtrend. It's going to need to break through all of this and get up here if it's going to be super progressive. But I'm not seeing it. I see weakness, so I'm thinking it could transition back through this level and go on down. So now this looks like a head and shoulders pattern. Here's the first shoulder right here. Where's my oval? Can y'all see this? Let me see. So there's one right here. Oh, it's blending in. I knew that was gonna happen. I knew it. Okay, but it's blending in over there. But there's a shoulder right here, head up here checking in to being an outlier, and then another shoulder here. So we'll see if it's going to go ahead and break down a little bit more. It's got about 6 seconds left on this. On the bottom of this candle is the 32.68. So let's see if this thing can get a nice little breakdown here. Still within the overall structure downtrend. So looking for a dive through this 32. Nice little tap. Looking for a breakdown of 33 here. And this was the uptrend that had previously failed. So starting to treat this like a little bit of resistance, that uptrend there. Nice, RixCon. Yeah, Firefox, man. Firefox is one of my go-tos. If I don't have Brave browser already on a computer, Firefox is where I go. Okay, so treating that uptrend like a little bit of resistance. And we're just looking for that dive below 32. 33s. Oh, EPSM. EPSM. Did not see that one. What is this? So this one's up 15 bucks. I don't see any news on it today. EPSM up 41% with a million shares traded. It went up to 23 with no news. What is this stock? EPSM. All right, so coming over here to the description of this, oh, another Chinese stock. Oh man, can we just stop with? Come on, bro. All right, let's just read what they do. Epsium Enterprise Limited engages in the trading and wholesale of alcoholic beverages in China, France, Chile, Australia, and the United States and Scotland. It primarily offers wines and spirits, including Chinese liquor, French cognac, Scottish whiskey, fine wine, champagne, and other. The company offers its products under the Muay Thai. I almost said Muay Thai. Muay. I don't even know, bro. These names, these ones right here, all of this stuff, all of that, including oh boy, including all of that. It distributes its products through chains, supermarkets, stores, clubs, restaurants, food courts, bars, hotel, gaming companies. The company was formerly known as Shantao Investment Development Limited and changed its name to Epsom Enterprise Limited in 2020, April 2021. Epsom Enterprise Limited was incorporated in 2020 and is based in a whole nother Chinese stock. So let me put that note out here. Chinese stocks are tripping today. So here we go. All right. So we got our note out there. Chinese stocks are tripping today. Right there. All right, so we got our note out there. Let me just continue to look around, man. This is crazy. These Chinese stocks are popping up and taking souls. We got another one popping up, KLV or KAVL up 36%. It's only 58 cents. So I'm not seeing any catalyst. These things are just moving for no reason. Let's go look at where KAVL is from. KAVL, this is Kaival Brands Innovations Group. This is Brands Innovations Group. Inc. Sales, markets, distributes electronic nicotine delivery system products and related components in the United States. The company offers Bitey or Bitty Stick, a disposable and tamper-resistant ends product in various flavor options for adult cigarette smokers. It sells its products to non-retail customers through convenience stores and the website www.wholesaleBiddyVapor.com. The company was formerly known as Quick Start Holdings Inc. and has changed its name to Kaivel Brands Innovations Group Inc. in July 2019. The company is based in Grant, Valcaria, Florida. So out of Florida there. So yeah, there's this is a very weird day, man. Very weird day here out here in these streets. Oh, CJET. It just crossed 200 million shares traded. It continues to, let's see if this is another upward structure that it's got here. Is it gonna go ahead and cave? So we got a little bit of another structural uptrend, but it's using that other one as a little bit of resistance up there. So couldn't get back up there and kind of faded off of that. And again, just trading the top of this box. Maybe if it does do a breakout, it'll be another outlier, but yeah, not a whole lot of space on this one for mistakes. 200 million shares traded is insane. Let me activate, spread the box out a little bit to here. Okay, so right there, so we can actually see it. Again, trying to get up there. Top side was 34. And continues to find resistance at the top of the box. So that's the second time. It came out and made an outlier the first time, and now it's a lower high. So we'll see if it actually breaks down 33 this time for real. All right, GL. Everything's like 20%. Everything's 20%. That's crazy. Okay, let me go over here and see the scanner. Let me switch to, can I get the watch list now? This one? Yeah. Okay, so this is the watch list and finally started working. So this is what I'm looking at. I got CJET up here, and these are the pre-market low flows. CJET leading, GL, GLXG at 23%. That's what I'm saying. Everything is around 20% except CJET. So, I mean, and CJET has a stupid amount of volume on it, which is telling me to just hang tight. Just hang tight. Okay. Let's switch back over to, where'd it go? This one? Yeah. All right, that one, and then switch this over to this. Okay, back over to the main. So now y'all kind of see what I was talking about. I was trying to show y'all that earlier. I don't know why it wasn't working, but it is what it is. CJET, again, coming up to this top level. The uptrend here was 35, right around 35 cents. So it's giving them another opportunity to exit. Okay. So it's a very nice little penny stock. Nice little penny stock. Got a bottom structure down here at 32 and can easily double top here, but we'll see. 1 and 2. Man, this thing's gonna be, by the end of the day, this thing might have 400 million shares, man. People trying to get out. $15 left. It's almost 7:32. So this is gonna be the leader on the day. It's just telling me to sit tight for sure. First day, we haven't seen the overall volume come in on this whole government shutdown, so that's what people are probably waiting on. All right, so came up here and touched this level, so that's going to be a new outlier level. Go ahead and draw that in there, and it's actually too far away from this one now, so I'll go ahead and remove this one down here, and because I want things to be possible, you know. So got a new outlier, and we'll see if that continues to push or if it wants to actually become an outlier here. All right, so we still got our bottom trends. It's treating this uptrend as some type of resistance. It's going to have to bounce through that if it wants to show any kind of strength. And then back under 34, it's not going to be looking too good. New outlier structure, old outlier structure. Okay, some nonsensical movement. I see you. I see what you're doing. Still using that top trend, that first uptrend as a form of resistance there. All right, back up here, EPSM. It's up 24% with 2 million shares traded, and I'm just not. I'm not seeing it. Not seeing it. No catalyst on today. It looked like it had some. What did it have yesterday? Yesterday, no catalyst yesterday either. Okay. All right. So China is leading the way. Back on the 34. It's not gonna be looking too sweet. Coming back into our box. So it, man, this thing has really been unpredictable. Again, tapping that top level. Let's see if it's a snap down here. Is it gonna continue going? Okay, okay. That's another outlier. $216 million shares traded. Super heavy stock here. So overall, it's basically been struggling to make a 10-cent move. It came down here to the 28s and almost is up to 38. So about a 10-cent move overall. All right, so are we getting a new outlier here? We're gonna have to wait for some of these candles to close. Okay, hit that top. Couple seconds left. Crazy thing is this 1 cent away from not looking too good anymore. You know, it's also 1 cent away from looking like it wants to explode. A big 50-50 chance. Volume definitely coming in there, but it's not pushing up. It needs to push up on that volume. Oh, okay, close there. All right. Can it break out of this level? 36. Got the 40s up there. This is At this point, I'm gonna go ahead and remove this one. So we will remove this old drawing. We got our two uptrends up here that it's been struggling in between. It's got room back down here to the 32s if it doesn't want to pop out. We're just giving it time now. It's another outlier. Reclaiming this uptrend here. So let's see what it wants to do now. Top side was up there at the 40 cents, 3 cents away from 40. So the folks in here, they got stopped out. Now it's playing with their emotions, coming all the way back past where they got in. So will they re-enter and then it dips down again on them? Will it break them twice on the day during pre-market session? Up 131%. Yeah, this thing might end the day with 400 million shares traded. This is, it's not playing, but it's definitely giving me a clear, strong message. I could see this being a day where a lot of pre-market traders are definitely red, that are willing to trade this type of stock. Because I mean, the temptation was definitely there to re-enter where you lost it. So if you were in here at 35, it comes down on you, comes back up here. You know, the re-entry is there. Okay, finally we getting a little double top there. Is it gonna go ahead and break this? If it breaks this, that will invalidate this downtrend here. If it can break out here. So let's see 41 if possible. 40, no, okay. No breakout yet. Did not invalidate. Okay. Looks like a little double top there on the 1 minute. It's gonna need to break that. Shorts are getting active. All right, so let's look where those spots were up here. We had spots up here at the daily. There was some obvious levels up here, the gap. So this is the bottom of the gap. This is the top of the gap. And right now it's kind of at a double top where it could go up to 50 cents. You know, it's a little 10-cent run, but the way it's been chopping around, I don't know how quick it's going to do it. There's the breakout. So that invalidates this downtrend. Remove that. And we just have these uptrends. So now our structure is kind of naked now. We only got a one-sided structure. Okay, it is 7:40. I'm not gonna sit around anymore and watch this thing. This is if this is the leader, I may be taking no trades today for sure. Everything else has pretty much been a death note. So yeah, I'm good. I'm good on the first day of the month. If this is how things are looking, if the leader is looking like this, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to sign off. I gotta go get ready for this meeting and all that good stuff. But yeah, y'all keep y'all's head on a swivel for sure. And we will circle back tomorrow morning, pre-market. Y'all have a good one. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.